My sister-in-law demanded I be the free nanny for her triplets every weekend. When I refused, she dropped them off on my porch and drove away. I called her husband, who thought she was at work, to pick them up. He found out she was actually at a spa, and now, 32, work as a pediatric nurse. 5 days a week, 12-hour shifts, dealing with sick kids and stressed parents. I love my job, but by Friday night, I am done. My weekends are sacred. Sleep, laundry, maybe brunch with friends. That's it. My brother got married 6 years ago to a woman who seemed nice enough at first. They have triplets now. 3-year-old girls, cute kids, absolute chaos incarnate, but cute. Here's where it starts. About 4 months ago, my sister-in-law started dropping hints. You're so good with kids. The girls just love their auntie. Must be nice having weekends off while some of us never get a break. I ignored the hints, pretended I didn't catch the subtext. Then she got direct. So I was thinking, since you don't have kids and your weekends are free, you could take the girls every Saturday. Give me and your brother some couple time. I blinked. Every Saturday? Yeah, it would be great for them. And you're a nurse, so you know how to handle kids. I handle sick kids at a hospital. That's different from babysitting triplets for. I paused. How many hours are we talking? Oh, just like 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., maybe 7, depends on what we're doing. 10 to 11 hours every Saturday. For free. That's not going to work for me. Her face did this thing, this shift from sugary sweet to ice cold in about 2 seconds. Why not? What else are you doing? Living my life? Recovering from my work week? I work 50+ hours already. But you don't have kids. You don't know what tired is until you have kids. I took a breath. I said no. I'm happy to babysit occasionally with notice for a few hours, not every weekend for free all day. She huffed. Your brother said you'd be difficult about this. That stung. I called my brother later that night. Did you tell her I'd be difficult? He sighed. She's been on me about needing help. I might have mentioned you work with kids and she ran with it. I'm not her free childcare. I know. I'll talk to her. He didn't. Or if he did, it didn't stick. She started texting me constantly. Guilt trips about how exhausted she was. Photos of the girls missing their auntie. Passive-aggressive comments at family dinners about how some people have so much free time while others are drowning. I held firm. Kept saying no. Offered to babysit 1 Saturday a month, maybe 4 hours, with a week's notice. She acted like I'd insulted her entire bloodline. Then came last Saturday. I was still in my pajamas at 9 a.m., enjoying coffee and silence when my doorbell rang. Opened it to find my sister-in-law's minivan pulling away from my driveway, and 3 toddlers standing on my porch with a diaper bag. She didn't even get out of the car. Just dropped them and drove off. The girls were confused. The youngest was already crying. I brought them inside because what else was I going to do? Leave 3-year-olds on my porch? I called my sister-in-law immediately. Straight to voicemail. Texted, what are you doing? Come get your kids. Response, I have work today, emergency shift. You'll be fine. There's snacks in the bag. Pickup is around 5. Work. Okay. I called my brother. Hey, did you know your wife dropped the triplets at my house? Pause. What? No, she said she was covering a shift at the hospital today. Well, she just left them on my porch and drove off. I didn't agree to this. What? He sounded genuinely confused. She texted me she got called in for an emergency. I'm at my buddy's place working on his truck. She's not answering my calls. I can't watch them all day. I have plans. He was quiet for a second. Let me try to reach her. I'll figure this out. 15 minutes later, he called back. Voice tight. She's not answering me either, but I did something. I logged into our Find My app. Her phone is showing at a spa resort about 40 minutes from here, not the hospital. Oh, she lied to both of us? Looks like it. I'm coming to get the kids. I'm sorry about this. Really sorry. He showed up about 30 minutes later. Face like stone. Loaded the girls into his truck without much conversation. I'm gonna handle this, he said before leaving. Again, I'm sorry she did this to you. I didn't hear anything for the rest of the day. Figured he confronted her. They fought. Typical married stuff. Then my phone exploded. Not from my brother, from my sister-in-law. You called him? You couldn't just watch the kids for 1 day? You had to ruin everything? I ruined nothing. You lied to both of us and dumped your kids on me without consent. I needed a break. Do you have any idea what it's like raising triplets? No, you don't, because you're selfish and childless and probably bitter about it. I didn't respond, blocked her number. Now my parents are calling me saying I should have just handled it for one day instead of causing drama. My brother's not talking to anyone. Apparently the spa trip was part of a pattern. She'd been telling him she was working extra shifts for months while actually doing spa days, shopping trips, and lunch with friends. Using childcare money he thought was going to an actual babysitter. Family group chat is a war zone. Half think I should have kept my mouth shut. Half think she got what she deserved. I don't feel bad about calling my brother. I do feel bad that the kids are caught in the middle of whatever's about to happen to their parents' marriage. But I'm not a free nanny, and I won't be guilted into being one. Update 1. 10 days later. Things have deteriorated faster than I expected. The day after I posted, my mom showed up at my apartment unannounced. She had that look, the "we need to talk about your choices" look I remember from being 15. You've really made a mess of things. How is this my mess? I didn't lie to anyone. I didn't abandon kids on a doorstep. She was overwhelmed. Mothers get overwhelmed. You could have been understanding for one day. Mom, she told her husband she was at work while she was at a spa. She stole childcare money. This isn't about one Saturday. That's between them. You didn't need to be the one to blow it up. I stared at her. So I should have, what? Watched the kids all day, said nothing, and let her keep lying to my brother indefinitely? You could have talked to her first, woman to woman, instead of immediately running to tattle. Tattle. I'm 32 years old and my mother used the word tattle. I called him because she wasn't answering and I couldn't watch the kids. What happened after that isn't my fault. She left in a huff, said I was always so rigid and this is why you're still single. Cool. Thanks, Mom. Meanwhile, my brother finally texted me. First contact since he picked up the girls. Can we talk? Not about taking sides, just need to vent to someone who isn't trying to tell me what to do. We met for coffee on Tuesday. He looked rough, hadn't shaved, eyes were tired. Turns out the spa thing was just the tip of the iceberg. Once he started digging, and once his wife realized the jig was up and stopped hiding things, he found out. She'd been telling him she was working extra shifts at her part-time retail job for over a year. In reality, she'd quit 8 months ago. The paychecks she was depositing were actually cash withdrawals from a credit card he didn't know existed. She'd run up $23,000 in debt. Spa days, shopping sprees, expensive brunches with friends, a gym membership she never used, the babysitter she'd been paying with his money. Her friend who would watch the kids for 2 hours, then she'd pick them up and my brother would think they'd been there all day. She built an entire fake life. I feel like an idiot, he said. How did I not see it? You trusted her. That's not idiotic. That's normal. She's saying it's because I don't appreciate her. That raising triplets alone while I work is too hard and she deserved some self-care. Self-care doesn't include financial fraud and lying for a year. He nodded, sipped his coffee. I don't know what to do. The girls need their mom, but I don't know who she is anymore. I didn't have advice, just listened. That's all I could do. But then the attacks on me started ramping up. My sister-in-law created a new Instagram account. Her old one was temporarily disabled after she and my brother's fight went semi-public in their friend group. The new account was just vague posts, but clearly about me. Some people destroy families because they're jealous of what they can't have. Imagine being so lonely that you'd rather ruin a marriage than help with kids. Blood isn't always thicker than water. Sometimes family is your biggest enemy. People from our extended family started texting me asking what I did. Some of her friends, women I'd met at baby showers and birthday parties, sent me DMs calling me a homewrecker. Homewrecker for calling my brother when his wife abandoned their kids on my porch. Her mother called me. Actually called me. You've destroyed my daughter's life. Are you happy now? Your daughter destroyed her own life by lying, stealing, and committing fraud. She was struggling. Do you know how hard it is to raise 3 children? Hard enough to justify theft and lies for a year? She hung up on me. Family dinner last Sunday was canceled because nobody could agree on whether I should even be invited. My dad texted me privately. I don't agree with how any of this went down, but I don't think you did anything wrong. Just want you to know that. At least one parent is sane. My brother is consulting a divorce lawyer. Not filing yet, just consulting. Getting his options. His wife is apparently devastated and willing to do anything to save the marriage, including therapy, financial counseling, whatever. But she also hasn't apologized to me. Not once. In fact, her position seems to be that none of this would have happened if I had just helped out that Saturday. The entitlement is actually breathtaking. I'm holding steady, not engaging with her or her flying monkeys. Not backing down from my position that I did nothing wrong. But I'd be lying if I said the isolation didn't sting. When half your family thinks you're the villain for checks notes, refusing to be lied to and used, it makes you question everything. More updates as this unfolds, because trust me, it's not done unfolding. Update 2. 3 weeks later. The last 3 weeks have been absolute chaos, but things are finally settling into something resembling clarity. Buckle up. First, the escalation I didn't see coming. A week after my last post, my sister-in-law showed up at my apartment. I was getting home from a night shift, exhausted, not in the mood for anything. She was waiting by my door. We need to talk. I don't think we do. Please, 5 minutes, I just want to explain. Against my better judgment, I let her talk. Didn't invite her in, just stood in the hallway. She launched into this whole speech about how hard motherhood was, how my brother didn't understand, how she felt invisible and taken for granted, how the spa days were the only thing keeping her sane, how she never meant for it to go this far. Okay, I said when she finished. And the $23,000 in secret debt? That spiraled, I know, but I was going to pay it back. With what? You quit your job 8 months ago. She faltered. I was going to get another job, eventually. And the lying to my brother about working extra shifts for over a year? I just needed space. You don't understand what it's like to never have a moment to yourself. I understand lying. I understand fraud. I understand dumping your kids on someone's porch without consent. Those are choices. You made them. She started crying. I made mistakes. Why does everyone want to crucify me for making mistakes? Because they weren't mistakes. They were a year-long pattern of deception. She left crying, texted me later that I was cold and heartless and probably incapable of love. Blocked her again. But here's where things got interesting. Remember how I mentioned my brother was consulting a divorce lawyer? Well, his wife found out. And her response was to play her final card. She told his parents, my parents, that my brother was abusive, not physically. She was careful about that. But emotionally abusive and financially controlling and isolating her from friends and family. She painted a picture of a trapped woman whose only escape was those secret spa days because her husband wouldn't let her have a life. My mom called me in tears. Did you know about this? About how he treats her? Mom, that's not true. She's trying to flip the narrative. But she seemed so upset, so scared. She's been lying for over a year. Why would she stop now? My dad was more skeptical. Called my brother directly, heard his side, then called me. I don't believe her, he said. But your mother's bought in. This is going to get uglier before it gets better. He was right. My brother, to his credit, stayed calm. He'd already been documenting everything with his lawyer's advice. Bank statements showing the secret credit card. Screenshots of her fake work schedule texts. Records of the spa and shopping purchases that matched days she claimed to be at the hospital. His lawyer told him something important. Her accusations make filing for divorce actually easier, not harder. She's made this adversarial. Respond in kind. So he did. He filed. Listed the financial deception, the lying, and the abandonment of children as grounds. Requested primary custody with supervised visitation for her until she completed a financial responsibility course and parenting evaluation. She was served at her mother's house where she'd been staying. According to my cousin who witnessed it, she threw the papers at the process server and screamed that my brother was ruining the children's lives. The hearing for temporary custody was last Tuesday. I wasn't there, but my brother told me everything. Her lawyer tried to argue that she was a devoted stay-at-home mother who had simply been overwhelmed. That the financial issues were marital problems, not criminal behavior. That my brother was retaliating against a woman who just needed help. My brother's lawyer presented the evidence. All of it. The fake work schedule, the credit card statements, the text messages to her friend coordinating the fake babysitting, screenshots of her complaining to friends about how easy it was to deceive her husband. The kicker was the text she'd sent to her sister 3 months ago. He has no clue, lol. As long as I keep saying I'm tired from work, he believes everything. Men are so dumb. The judge was not impressed. Temporary custody went to my brother. She gets supervised visitation twice a week at a family center. No overnights. She's required to attend financial counseling before any modification. Child support was ordered. Ironic since she has no income, but it establishes the expectation. She called me after the hearing, crying, begging, "You have to talk to him. You have to make him see reason. I can't lose my babies. I can't make him do anything. And honestly, you should have thought about your babies before you built a year of lies." I was sick. I think I have depression or something. I wasn't in my right mind. Then get treatment. Get a diagnosis. Present it to the court. But don't call me asking for favors when you've spent months calling me jealous and bitter. I was angry. I didn't mean it. Goodbye. Hung up. Final update. 2 months later. The divorce finalized last week. Faster than anyone expected, but she stopped fighting once her lawyer told her what she was actually facing. The split wasn't pretty for her. My brother got primary custody of the girls. She gets them every other weekend, supervised at first, then gradually unsupervised as she completes her requirements: therapy, financial counseling, parenting classes. The debt, $23,000, became her sole responsibility since she incurred it through fraud. My brother's lawyer made sure that was crystal clear in the settlement. She's on a payment plan that'll follow her for years. The house they'd been renting? My brother kept it. She moved back in with her mother, who still blames everyone except her daughter for how things turned out. Her final play was a doozy. 2 weeks before the divorce was final, she had her mother call my parents to propose a mediation. The pitch was that if I apologized for starting this whole thing and agreed to help with childcare regularly, she'd drop her demands for more custody time. Let that sink in. She wanted my apology and free labor as a bargaining chip in her divorce. My dad shut it down. My daughter did nothing wrong, and using her as a negotiation tactic is exactly why your daughter is in this situation. First time in my life, my dad went to bat for me like that. Not gonna lie, I teared up when he told me. The girls are adjusting. They're young enough that most of this will fade into background noise for them. They love their dad. They'll love their mom during visits. Kids are resilient. My brother's doing okay. Tired. Overwhelmed at times. Single parenting triplets is no joke. But he's got a routine now. His company let him shift to a slightly flexible schedule. He hired an actual verifiable babysitter for 2 days a week. And yes, I help out sometimes, on my terms. A few hours here and there when I offer, not when demanded. That's how families should work. My relationship with my mom is still strained. She never fully admitted she was wrong about initially blaming me. We've had a few awkward dinners. It's not warm, but it's functional. Some things don't fully heal, and that's just reality. My sister-in-law hasn't contacted me since the divorce finalized. Blocked on everything. And from what I hear through family, she's too busy dealing with her own mess to worry about me. She's working retail again, trying to dig out of debt. Seeing her kids every other weekend under supervision, that'll probably lift in 6 months if she keeps up with her requirements. Do I feel sorry for her? A little. She clearly has issues, whether it's depression, entitlement, something else. But sympathy doesn't mean I regret anything I did. She made choices. She lived in a fantasy world built on lies and expected everyone to play along. When it collapsed, she blamed everyone but herself. That's not my burden to carry. People keep asking if I'm glad things turned out this way. What a weird question. Nobody's glad a marriage collapsed. Nobody's glad 3 kids are shuttling between parents now. But I'm glad the truth came out. I'm glad my brother isn't being deceived anymore. I'm glad I didn't become an enabler. The whole experience taught me something I guess I already knew but hadn't tested. Boundaries matter. The first no I said. That started all of this. If I'd caved, I'd still be a free weekend nanny while she ran up credit cards at spas. Sometimes the difficult choice is just the honest one. To anyone dealing with family members who treat your boundaries as suggestions, hold the line. You're not responsible for the fallout when entitled people finally face consequences. That's their mess. Let them clean it up.